All right, so we are live. I'm trying to pull up the media assets as we speak here.
Good evening, everybody. This
Good
is
evening.
one month away, less than 30 days out to the ILEETA conference. Man, I know there's 3 more people in this room that are just as excited as I am. So, yeah, we are thrilled that this conference is just right there on the horizon.
Yeah, just barely over 3 weeks right now. Hard to believe.
Yeah.
Monday will be 3 weeks out.
Soon we'll be to single digits.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah, but I'll tell you, planning's going incredibly well. And we got Ray on here with us tonight to kind of give us some inside details from his perspective. And that's going to be a heck of a conversation because there's a lot of really cool stuff happening right now. This is going to be a great year.
I can't wait. I'm excited and ready to connect with some old friends and meet some new friends as just every ILEETA conference, meeting those new folks that are there for the first time. And we're excited for the first time.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%. It's absolutely one of the busiest weeks of the year for me, from the time that I get there and seeing folks like you guys getting introduced to new people, introducing new people to some of the old guys. And it's just a high energy draining by the end of the week, but it's just a recharge at the same time. And man, I'm looking forward to it. I can use it.
It's so awesome.
Yeah. See, I don't need to say anything. I don't need to say anything now. I mean,
you
just covered it all.
You've already got a question from Jason. Jason Durr's already got a question for you. And I think it's worth we're going to go ahead and actually just toss it straight over to you, Ray. Jason Durr's asked, what should veterans expect this year? There you go. Brian's got it up on the screen for you.
What should veterans attendees expect this year? I think it's just everybody expect what you've seen in the past, but then, as we evolve it, the new classes that are coming in, some of the new vendors this year. I forgot how many we have, but it's new people coming in saying, hey, we want to see what this is all about. And then it's just really those veterans of ILEETA, the conference, really are the backbone of what it is. Everybody gets it when you get there. We're going to have a couple different information booths this year. We got members that want to help, help those new people guide through the conference. But at the end of the day, we're going to get this done because it's a great idea. But also it's all those veterans that, hey, you're part of that also. So what to expect? Expect, some of those new classes. Expect some, now we never say changes, the evolution. And just those little things as we move forward. And I'll tell you this, if somebody asks, what do I expect? I expect to talk to a lot of people and say, how do we get to where we want to go? What do we need to do? And again, I'm going to emphasize this we, because everybody's got a lot of good ideas. Everybody wants to get involved, and we're going to put that to work.
Yeah, spot on, man. And I'll tell you, it's been kind of cool watching this evolution. And you and I think Jenny really have done a lot with the members coming in and some of those things where we've got, so talking about like veterans coming back. There are agencies this year because of the way we did the membership bundles, which, by the way, big shout out once again to how Jenny having to manage all that. The agencies are coming in with like 17 people, 8 people, like all kinds of like large agency presence, and they're going to do this as an offsite. So you take those veteran members are coming back and re-engaging. They know people. They'll be introducing a lot of new people from their departments. And I can tell you, actually, we hit our second best year ever numbers tonight. Wow. And so we are already trending in a very positive direction as far as registrations go, which is just super cool.
Yeah. And I think, like you talk about whether it's a one person, 7 people, we always talk about what they should do. I mean, come to Sunday night, learn, they talk about it, but it's also divide and conquer. Hit all those classes. Make it possible to take that information back and to be able to, share it with your department, with your other trainers. So it is exciting. And Joe, you already talked about it. There's such a team effort between, Jen on the membership side, Jill on the marketing side. We have our people still behind us, helping us, you name it, across the board. But I know we're going to jump around here because that's what us squirrels do. We talk about a lot of stuff. But on the Expo side, that is sold out, and we got a waiting list.
Yeah, so let's, Ray, do you mind if I play that video?
I'm sorry, what?
Do you mind if I play that video from Jill? Because we're going to end up talking a lot about that. So I was able to catch up with Jill and kind of get an idea from her perspective on what's happening with vendors and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and play that. And then what I think the 4 of us can do afterwards is just kind of pull the thread on it a little bit, because there's already a comment about the coin and patch exchange and Todd being here. So let's play this and then we'll pull the thread. Hey, good evening, Jill. So tell us a little bit about what's going on at ILEETA 2026 this year when it comes to the expo and all of the great stuff that our conference sponsors are going to do for us.
Thanks, Joe. So the expo is officially sold out this year. We do have people on the waiting list. We have 117 vendors from 4 different countries, the US, Canada, Japan, and Prague. I challenge each and every attendee to get in there, meet with every vendor that you have. This is part of being with ILEETA. You get to meet with the makers and give your feedback of the product. What's going to work for your department? What's going to work for your company? What's not? All these vendors come out to see you and look for your feedback, and then they take it back to their companies. They're just as excited to see you as you are to see them. So spend some time there, meet everybody. I'm really excited to announce that we do have Range Day back this year on Wednesday afternoon. So after the big expo at Union Station is done, we do have the live fire range going. There'll be transportation to be able to bring everybody out. And I do really want to thank Multi-Drill Targets for their support, Action Target for their support, and Winchester. Thank you for the 3 of you. We wouldn't be able to make it happen without you, but I'm super excited to see that it's back this year, and with a rebuilt range, it's going to be something. On Monday evening, we have our Emerson Hour. Emerson Hour this year is hosted by Warrior's Heart with a hospitality following it. For Tuesday night, we have Meet the Authors. And right after Meet the Authors, we want you to don your finest green and join us for the 3rd annual Milo and Command Presence Cornhole Tournament. And over the last 3 years has been an amazing tradition that just seems to get everybody going and something exciting. Again, it's on St. Patty's Day, so wear your finest green, and we can't wait to see everybody there. Wednesday night, we are proud to welcome Silencer Shop as one of our sponsors this year. And it's a really great midweek space to connect. We're featuring a cigar bar with some wine, really comfortable atmosphere, a little bit quieter than Tuesday evening, but it's intentionally designed for conversation and a professional environment to just kind of relax. Thursday night hospitality, we're excited to have Combative Firearms host a Symbol of Service. It's an opportunity for attendees to connect through the meaningful tradition of coin and patch exchange. The challenge coins and patches represent far more than just logos. They symbolize identities, service, sacrifice, stories. So we want everybody to bring or come with your different coins, your different patches, and a night of exchanging, a night of trivia, laughter, just kind of a downtime relaxation, and we'll have a great time with some door prizes. A couple shout outs. I want to thank Brandy from Badge Brew. Thank you, Brandy, for starting each and every day for all of us with coffee. I especially want to thank Caden AI this year as one of our newest conference sponsors. They're sponsoring the guidebook app, and I also hear that they're pretty good at cornhole. So thank you, Caden AI, for your sponsorship, and that all attendees will be using. We appreciate your support of ILEETA and in the LE community. A special thanks to Caliber Press for sponsoring our 2026 badges. I know everybody loves wearing them. We couldn't do it without you. So thank you so much. Thank you to all of our sponsors. We are excited to see you in less than 4 weeks. The countdown is on. Again, remember to pack your green, and we'll meet you there. See you in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, there's
Pack your green.
There's a lot to unpack there, but first and foremost, we've got a lot of awesome sponsors. Folks coming to the vendor area, hey, give those. If you come to the conference, make sure that you support all the vendors. Go and ask them questions and get some information. Take back to your agency. They are there to make life better for all the instructors. Great resources.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's actually one of the, I don't know if it's underappreciated, but I think it's underappreciated maybe by the first time attendees, but people that have come for several years in a row, I think that they see how much influence they have on the vendors that show up at the expo and our sponsors. I mean, it's amazing. I've seen actually product evolution and development changes over the years based on things that I've seen and heard and conversations that I've had with vendors at the ILEETA Expo. So they take it seriously, and it's a great place to make connections, establish some other relationships on a different side of our law enforcement family than the training side. And that is with our supporting equipment manufacturers and whatnot. And those are important relationships to develop too.
Absolutely. Hey, Ray, here's a question for you.
Okay, yeah, I do want to piggyback on Todd real quick on that,
Sure.
because it is so important that we all talk with the vendors, and one of the things that, because they have their choices, and we know there's a lot of choices out there, but they come there because of the input they get from the instructors. You look at our DT rooms, Crown Mats, so, and then they ask us, what do you need built? What's the next thing? So that evolution, that connect, everything that goes on there. So 100% agree with you, and it's important to go there and give them the honest feedback on what their product is. That's the big thing there. All right, sorry about that, Joe, but go ahead.
No, absolutely, and I'm glad you piggybacked on that. So what is range day, and how do attendees register for it? So I'll answer the second part. You don't need to register for it. The vendors do, and there are still a handful of slots left. It's filling up fast, but it's definitely something vendors need to register for. But go ahead, Ray. Tell us what is range day.
Range day is that, and the same thing, new attendees, we had to take the year off as St. Louis PD was rebuilding their range, but it's the same thing. Anybody who is at the expo and wants to go out to the range and have their firearms out there for attendees to try them out, get some hands-on experience what they are. One thing I think that is we're working on this year, that Jill's been working on, is it's not just about the firearms. So this year, well, obviously we got Winchester out there. They do their gel tests, so you can be able to see how the rounds work, everything along that, and that's great. But then we're gonna have other vendors there from some of the different types of targets, possibly headgear. I wish I had the list from Jill, but different ones that want to be able to be out there so you can try out some other stuff. So it's not about that. We're hoping that down the road that we'll have some less lethals out there. Hey, not just about over here, bring them on out here. So those are the things there, but it's a great day. And one of the things that, like the transportation, we're going to be trying something new this year. It looks like we're going to get a small bus so people can drive out there and just do a rotation. So this way they're not quite sure they want to ride with somebody strange. I don't know if I'd get in a car with Joel with that beard and everything else. A little sketchy, it's that type of thing. But everybody is, how ILEETA is. Hey, come on, ride with us. That's great. But we'll have that also, be able to talk to people on the bus, go out there. And I believe they got a food truck that's going to be out there. So if you want to go out there, do a little shooting, buy something to eat, it's a one-stop shop for all that this year. So that's what Range Day is, and we will be involved in that. Todd, look again.
Isn't Marathon Targets going to be out there with their autonomous robot targets? I was thinking
we have not confirmed that they'll be at Range Day yet, but they will be at Robert Fincher's class out there demoing some really cool stuff. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that one. And I don't know, maybe they'll see this and get the reminder that it's still time to sign up. And there's just so much great stuff happening. And with the transportation, the food truck, what'll end up happening is as the expo ends, you've got that lunch break, and there's, Todd, actually, I know where you're going to be in the afternoon on Wednesday. I know where I'm going to be in the afternoon on Wednesday. There's still great stuff happening in Union Station. But if you want to go out to Range Day, go get on the bus. They'll take you out there. You'll get a chance to shoot a little bit. You'll get a chance to check out some of the other live fire supporting stuff like Ear Pro. And I think there's even a Nods company. They've got a tent they're setting up out there.
Cool.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Really great stuff to come.
Yeah. And just kind of watch. We'll have updates on the site and everything about it. So kind of watch as it's coming along there. But again, no cost. This is about, this is one of those things for the members of the conference, and it helps the vendors. Again, they like to see people try their product, everything else. Yeah, I gotta, just before I forget this, it's the same thing. I try to get, hey, what would I make sure I talk about? I'm all over the place sometimes. But Jill did say, and she toned it down in her video, but she said, make sure you dress like a leprechaun, or else you're out of uniform. So again, that's from Jill.
We got for the first timers there, we got got Maggie's right across the street, which is a great bar for St. Patty's Day.
Actually, Ray, do you want to talk food? There's some really good food.
Why should I talk about the food? All right. I'm Wisconsin.
Because you're the one that's been making the arrangements.
So no, we got, same thing. We work on a lot. Jerry works out for the food trucks out there. Well, we got a lot of people there, and those food trucks sometimes can't handle it all. And it's one of those things people go eat, and then they want to get the class, you name it. So like you said, there's Maggie's across the street, the Pitch. There's a couple other places. But one thing that Union Station has worked with us this year is and again, new members, you might not remember, your first year there, we'll have signage. But when you go to the what is that? The Train Shed restaurant. Right over there, there's actually a cafeteria that they're opening up for us. It's going to be a quick sandwich you can buy, a couple different things. Menu-wise, bring it back over by the area there, and you can have your sandwich and go on there. So we're trying it this year to see if it works. And like I said, this is all stuff that we get from feedback from everybody. Hey, what about this? And we always, if we don't try, we don't know. So we're hoping that you're talking over 700 people. So all these places we want to have so people can get some meat. So that's kind of the food situation right there, as far as for the lunchtime, because it's a get your food to go.
Yeah. Hey, I just pulled up this comment. Yeah, go ahead, Brian.
Joe and Ray, did I hear Jill say something about cigars?
Yeah. And actually, Ray, if you want to explain that, because you were very much involved in the setup last year, this impromptu thing that turned out really good, that kind of made this happen. So yeah, you explain it better than I do.
This is one where I'm very, like I said, I always say I'm blessed for where I'm at and blessed for the people around. As much as you want to say I was involved with it, I was involved with being out there with everybody and talking. All right. One of Roger, they put out the Facebook post, hey, we're going to meet here for a cigar and talk, and it just bloomed. And you had the guy, and I can't name, guys from New York, they had their cigars, we had ours, you name it, across the board. And it was just one of those things where, hey, nice cigar, a talk, and that same thing. It's about the connection. I'm excited about it. Wayne South had time to talk with him last year there. Ends up, I know, he's teaching for ILEETA, but he's going to be coming to Wisconsin teaching. That's where it's just the great things there. So that's how that came along. So now as we moved into 2026, like, okay, how can we, how can we improve on this? What can we do to, be able to reach more of the association members? And same thing, and this is what's very cool about this. If you are not a smoker and all that, you don't have to stand around there. We're going to have stuff on the inside. The cornhole boards will still be out. There'll be an area where people can just talk and connect. And again, it's not about, hey, you want your water? We'll have your water. We're going to hopefully have coffee and stuff this year. So it's about those different things. But that event right there is just something that came up new. And and for the Scar Night with Silencer Shop coming on board and being a sponsor, it's a great thing. And when you guys meet those guys, it's great.
Yeah. And you met him at SHOT Show. I think you did, Ray. Did you meet him at SHOT Show, Todd?
I did. They were great. They were phenomenal, and they're super excited about being able to help law enforcement officers muddle their way through that process. And it's from somebody who's done it several times. It is very, very simple going through them. So
yeah, I think what I like about it too, talking with Chris Bleed, right? Again, sometimes I'm Chris from there, is not just the excitement about the conference, because same thing, we're in conference mode right now, but this is a great association that has a great conference.
Yes.
And talking with Chris about the whole thing on some different things we're going to try to build on down the road, not just about this. That's what we're excited about also, those connections year round.
Let me just real quick jump in here and kind of talk people through the arrival at that. And we're all over the place as far as chronological goes. We're on Wednesday. We haven't even talked about Emerson Hour or anything, but Wednesday night, right? So you know where the elevators are that go into the main part of the hotel that, off to the side towards the restaurants and the pond in the back? That's roughly where we're going to be in that area for Wednesday night's event. Somebody asked me after an e-blast the other day, how do I get there? So the short answer, those elevators right there at the stairs that go up onto the mezzanine at the end of the midway where the expo is, it's going to be pretty obvious. Like Ray said, there's going to be cornhole boards and that kind of stuff outside. But you know where those that have been there before, Einstein Cafe, it's this area that doesn't get used much. And you can kind of see it from the elevators looking down from the mezzanine. That's going to turn into a lounge. And there's going to be kind of a wine bar, speakeasy sort of environment in there. The goal is, as Joe was saying in the video, quieter, right? Because you got this hyped event on Tuesday night, which we're going to talk about in a second. Wednesday night is a much quieter event inside. And as Ray said, if you don't want to be out there with smoke, no big deal. Go inside. There's a quiet lounge in there. You don't want alcohol? No big deal. There's water, there's soda, there's coffee, that sort of thing. But then go down the stairs and out into that courtyard, that big courtyard in the back. That's where the cigar area is going to be. And Silencer Shop, we heard they're going to bring in a tent. I don't know. Joe was telling me about it. It's like this, tent where it's going to be warm in there. So it's going to be a pretty cool event.
Yeah.
Wow.
They should bring that whole thing that they had at SHOT Show. That whole Western
the
cabin,
trailer.
That'd be with the trailer would be awesome.
We tried. There's not enough room. And actually we did get asked to have a 37-foot RV inside the expo hall. And at this point, as Jill said in the video, it's completely sold out. It's been sold out for a while. There's no getting a 37-foot RV in there. But I mean, could you imagine if they were to set up that SHOT Show trailer and all the chairs? Cool. Yeah. Next year, guys. Brad, Chris, looking at you.
It's some fun stuff, and same thing. We're excited to see the people just be able to interact and just, hey, the question's going to be, what did you learn that day? Who did you talk to? Share those classes you might have not gotten to. So those newcomers or vets, you name it across the board, make sure you just stop on by. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. It's always worried.
We should go backwards once again, since we jumped forward to Wednesday. Maybe we should go back to Sunday evening. What do we got going on Sunday evening that even for veterans is a can't miss part of ILEETA?
Cool.
Go ahead,
Right. We
want to hear you guys all throw one every month. Let's hear from you.
No. Well, I think it is. It's what is it? It's not new. It's not really called. What is it called now? It was newcomers at one point.
Yeah, it's still the newcomers orientation.
But it's called something different. I saw
I'm pulling up the name right now. Yeah. But you go ahead and talk about it.
It's a very fancy name for, hey, newcomers come here and learn about ILEETA. There we go. And it is. It's just the whole thing. Get the rundown. You'll have a couple speakers there, and these guys that put it together a few years back. What a great idea. Todd, I believe both you guys were involved with that, right? From the
we gave our feedback.
Just feedback. Just speaking.
That was it.
Yeah, so the whole thing, and that's just it. Come there and just get your feet settled, because it is overwhelming, all the different classes, trying to set up a schedule, get a rundown. And really, and what we're working on, and the same thing, we have some great members that are going to be there also that just want to be that contact for you, mentor, whatever it might be. Hey, you got a call, you got a question on that. So what it is, you have a few speakers to tell you about it, a little hospitality afterwards, and just you'll get to meet everybody who's there. But again, that's not about it. Hey, that's the only time you're going to talk to everybody, because you're going to have a lot of time. It's going to, this is funny. Anybody who stayed in hotels, make sure you hydrate, get your water and do your stuff, get your rest, work hard, play hard, but get your rest so you're ready for that next day. And that's what we'll just talk about all the way through there. And it's a good thing, just that icebreaker to say you are among, as Luann will put it, over 700 of your closest friends. That's where you start.
One of the things I love about that program is I like going in there and listening to what everybody else's ILEETA experience is. I know what mine has been, right? And I can share that with people, but I also want to hear what Joe's experience has been, what Brian's or Jason Durr's experience has been, because maybe I can pick something from Jason's experience and now I can make that part of my experience. Right. It gives me a chance to look outside of my own worldview, right? My narrow worldview, and maybe incorporate somebody else's ideas. And that's one of the reasons why I say that event is a can't miss event, even for veterans, or maybe even especially for veterans of the ILEETA conference.
Absolutely. And I want to go back a little bit before Sunday night, and Sunday during the day, we have bag. Sunday during the day, we have bag stuffing, and the recruits come and move the mats and put things out. But a lot of people, even veterans, don't know that this stuff exists, where you can go out and help these recruits and mingle with veteran and new officers, new instructors, to go out there and help ILEETA do some of this stuff. The bag stuffing with recruits, that's awesome. It's a good team building thing. And back in the old days, before we had recruits doing it, those of us that showed up early were rolling out the mats, carrying the mats from the dock into the, back in Chicago in the early days in St. Louis. But thank goodness we got those recruits to help out some of these old guys that get there early. But
Brian, you're going to go. But a couple things I ask people to do right now, because we do, when we talk about our legacy and our, the history of ILEETA. One thing, take advantage. If you see Harvey walking around, talk with Harvey. Before he is always so busy, and to sit down and hear the stories with him and where we came from. But you're right. I remember, in Chicago, we were changing mat rooms every day, switching things around. And that was like such a commitment from everybody to help there. I mean, thank you for coming to St. Louis. What a great place. And the recruits. And this is one thing we're looking at right now that's very exciting. We've been in St. Louis, I forgot, 7 years now, somewhere in that area.
Since
but now,
2017.
yeah, so now we're looking at trying to get a hold of possible officers that were recruits there, helping us put these mats out that are now getting into the training world. And what a better place to come and see that whole thing. We're all not our spring chickens more, and how you watch these people grow up through the department or become trainers. And I'm excited for that. We have some of these guys that came back as a recruit, and now they're here saying, yeah, I got it. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, and that bag stuffing thing, I mean, just kind of keep an eye on the schedule, what's going on. And if you have the opportunity, you're there on Sunday, you want to stop in and just shuttle the bags and that kind of stuff, we're always grateful to have a hand. And you'll run into some veteran members who have been there for a long time. If you're new, you show up early, you're going to get to meet people right off the bat. Some really good folks help out with that.
And let's talk. I know we got to get to a couple different topics, but let's talk about that, because we always do. There's people that show up on Sunday or they're during the week. Hey, how can we help? Just keep in mind, we want to know if you want to help, because we might need something at the expo. We might need something over here, and that's how we survive on this, is from the volunteers. We got our core people, but again, we have some other things going on this year. So come meet us on Sunday if you're there, and just even Saturday, let us know if you're there and say hi.
That's one of the great things about the ILEETA membership in general. I mean, they're can-do people, right? It's a can-do association filled with can-do members. And so they're always looking for, hey, what is it that I can do to serve others, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of in our nature. So don't be afraid to ask.
Oh my gosh! And
Get
then I'm
involved.
gonna share just one quick story because this is a Joe story. But literally, how many years? You know, because Union Station for the first ones there, it's always a pain when the expo's going on. You got to go around, come down all the stairs because we secure that area. And for years, we have 2 or 3 people on each side directing people and all that. And the simple idea: why don't we just put up arrows and signs?
Yeah.
What a good idea. And that's what I mean.
You know, having these conversations, they make a difference, and we get these good ideas from people all the time. And that's the one thing about trainers that I love. This population, the tribe of trainers, they challenge the process. They're willing to look at something, and they just inevitably create safety wherever they go to have meaningful conversations. So some of the things that come up were like, why the heck didn't we think of that however long ago? And yeah, absolutely.
So
go ahead. Did you have something to add, Ray? Because I was going to say,
let's go on to Monday night. Let's go to Monday night, if anything. Yeah.
Well, I know a guy who knows a lot about that. Maybe he'll tell us something.
Yeah,
I know a guy.
Who's going to be on Monday night?
Yeah. Who's gonna be there?
Well, I'll be there, and hopefully everybody else.
Well, we'll all be there in the audience.
Yeah, it's we've got quite the lineup this year. It's going to be exciting. I have no idea what to expect other than who's going to be speaking at Emerson Hour. Well, I take that back. I also know that Warriors Heart's going to be there and is going to be making this event completely possible. So thank you to them once again. I talked about Sunday night being a can't miss event, and Emerson Hour is also a can't miss event on Monday evening at 7:00 on the Midway. Get there early so that you can get a seat. Otherwise, you end up standing for an hour against the wall, trying to balance your tissue box between the laughter and the tears, because I'm sure that we're going to experience the same thing again this year. Wide range of emotions, but Emerson Hour, is one of those. It's one of those things that every single year we question, how can it get any better? How can it get any better? And I don't know that it does get better, but it's fresher in our mind. And I think that this year is going to be an Emerson Hour that's going to be a conversation, something that continues the conversation for the rest of the week too. So great lineup. Come take a look at it.
From my perspective, being the MC preceding you did elevate it. And I'll tell you, Brian and I had a conversation about this, that the evolution, and that's really when we look at our core values as we've evolved them at ILEETA, legacy, connection, evolution. Those are the 3 pillars that the association stands on. And you evolved that event. It's been super cool watching the relationship between you and Warriors Heart, and now just what's happening in that room. It's evolving, and it is somehow, I don't know how it happens, it is improving.
Well, I appreciate it. The Emerson Hour isn't about me. It's about the people that are up there presenting, and I'm just the person up there facilitating and introducing people, and that's pretty much it. There's more stuff going on behind the scenes, of course, but for the most part, it's all about them. And it should be. And I can't wait to see or hear what's going to happen at this year's Emerson Hour. So if you need any more insight, shoot me an email, shoot me a text, tap me on the shoulder. I still won't tell you who's going to be speaking. You have to show up for that.
Yeah, so real quick, for those that are going to be there for the first time listeners and watchers of this ILEETA Live, what is the question and what is the Emerson Hour?
Yeah, tell us. Yeah.
So I can't believe I missed that. So the question that each of these speakers is being asked to elaborate on or to address is Ralph Waldo Emerson's question that he used to ask friends that he hadn't seen for a while. He would greet them with, "What has become clear to you since we've last met?" And so that is the open-ended question that each speaker has 9 minutes to talk about. No PowerPoint. It's just 700 of their closest friends, a microphone, and speaking from the heart. And I know that having those of us that have done this, it is one of those questions that can go anywhere. And if you've been to some of these Emerson hours, I'm sure that you've sat in the audience and been really uncomfortable fidgeting, going, where the hell's he going with this? Where's this one going? I don't understand what this is leading up to. Or right off the bat, you're excited, you're enthusiastic, you're crying, right? There's so many different ways to go. It could be about law enforcement. It could be about life. It could be about family. It could be about religion. It could be about your mental health. It could be about your physical health. There could be any number of ways to answer that question. What has become more clear to you since we've last met?
Love it.
And 9 minutes is a tough one, because any of us can sit up here and talk for an hour, 2 hours, 4 hours, 8 hours. 9 minutes. That's all they've got.
Yeah. So cool.
Yeah, and just a suggestion on it, that's a great explanation of it. But if anybody watching, you're new and you're kind of wondering about it, go to the ILEETA site and go to the resources. Watch some of the Emerson hours from years past. That's there, so you get, okay, I'm kind of getting it, but it won't take away from being there. So 100%.
Yeah. And you've got to be there to experience some of the raw emotion. It could be very encouraging. Like Miles Cook last year, it was one of those that was kind of uplifting, right? It could be one of those that makes you a little bit uncomfortable. It could be one of those where you're on an emotional roller coaster with the speaker. It's like Carrie Avery last year. She was terrified to speak at Emerson Hour, and she was an all-star, right?
Yeah.
You watch it and you could feel her fear. You could feel the courage that it took for her to be up there speaking. And it was uplifting. It was spiritually, emotionally uplifting. And it just made you feel so good about ILEETA's membership in Emerson Hour.
Yeah. We could talk about Emerson Hour all night. I think that's one of the cool things about it. Really, we could. But unfortunately, I mean, Brian, you were probably about to do this as well. Let's pull us at this point. You know what we haven't talked about? Any of the classes. We haven't talked about any of the training. And with 450 hours of training, roughly every 2-hour block has somewhere between, granted, we cut 2 blocks during the expo that have 5 classes going, but every other block has between 13 and 21 classes. Every single block, every 2 hours of the week. So lots of great training happening. So what are you guys looking forward to for training? Just kind of toss it over to the group. Like, what kind of classes are you personally looking to attend this year?
I'm looking to do a little more wellness classes. I think I've talked to you, Joe, about my new role as the wellness co-coordinator.
Congratulations, by the way.
Well, thank you. And so this is, and it's funny. I grabbed my yellow legal pad. Can't see it, but my yellow legal pad to take notes for tonight, and it's from ILEETA 2022. Its responder readiness was the first class that I have on here. So I look forward to some wellness classes.
Awesome. What about you, Todd?
Well, I'm looking forward to some more of the tech classes. I am not a tech guy, and I know that that's a hole in my game. And so there's some of these technology classes dealing with AI that are really I can't say interesting to me, because if I was actually interested in it, I'd probably be better at it. But I also know that is something I need to improve my knowledge on. And so I'm actually really looking forward to how can we integrate AI, not to replace us, but to kind of support or to help firm the foundation of our training to make what we do better. And I think there are some opportunities there that we don't need to be frightened of. I think there are opportunities there that we can leverage to make our programs better if we know the right ways of doing it. And I'm looking forward to some of that.
Love it. What about you, Ray? And I know for you, it's super difficult to get into classes. You're being pulled in a variety of different directions. And I always wondered why Harvey didn't make it into a lot of classes. Man, now I understand a little bit more clearly. But if you did make it to a class, what sort of things are you looking forward to?
Same thing. I will say what class I want to make it to. Yes. I wish I could make it to all of them. But the same thing, my comfort zone is the DT area, same thing. But like Todd, I'm like you, kind of the technology thing around it and everything else, to get to some of that. But I want to be to the classes, same thing of some of our newer instructors that are first year there. And then, some of our veterans, and then see how the interaction. But then my thing is talking to everybody after what worked for you. How was everything? Our job at ILEETA conference is to make sure it goes well for everybody there. So again, when talking to the instructors, what worked for you, and the whole thing it's talking whether they did it the first year or they're thinking. We get it all the time. Hey, I'm thinking about doing a class, but I have this or that, and so the whole thing is, hey, why not you? Mm-hmm. Brian's always said it. We'll say people who want to come here get recharged, get it, but other ones might be a little nervous about it. I'm dyslexic. I'm horrible about it. I gotta, here's my notes, bullet points. But meeting those other instructors, what those like things they've worked through the years, and then why not you? So for me, the classes is yes, I'm going to get to some stop in and this, but is just learn from everybody.
Yeah, absolutely, awesome.
And Joe,
I guess if I really where my mind goes right now is on that open chain outcomes based learning environment, right? Context is key. Mike Bensingo's talking about that. There's a lot of human performance stuff that I'm interested in. I think for me, it's this fine dance that's happening between constraints-led approach and ecological dynamics, and what's always just been good training by good trainers, and finding the balance in that. And I think there's some really good presentations coming. Ben, I love that. All of them. And in fact, actually a little further up here, Rob Rose made a comment that was something along the lines of not being able to make it to everything. I can't find it right now, but the bottom line is, here, it needs to be 2 weeks and you just can't make it to everything. And by the way, Rob,
I would be so drained.
Oh my
Go
God.
ahead, Ray.
Hey, oh my gosh. Well, hey, Rob, I agree, but hey, resource center, go there and go through the things. But I will say what I think we're excited about also, Joe, as we're working on the thing is the post certifications. We got a few things coming out this year. Obviously, we're in the Missouri, Illinois area, trying to meet those goals of having some post certification, but not limited to there. So as we work on this in the future of how can we make this work, because that is a big area for a lot of states. So that is something that as people say they want to help, no matter what state you're from, all right. And so we can make this a little more there. But we're doing some pilots this year. You're going to see some signs and all this. But if you say, hey, what about my state? Let's talk. Okay.
Talk to me about sign-in rosters, Ray. I think this is going to be kind of a new thing that's happening this year. Tell us what we have in mind, where we're going with it.
Yeah, one of the things is the same thing. We do our head counts every year, and not that we'll go away from that, but the thing with the sign-in sheets, we're talking about it. And name a class you don't go to where you don't do a sign-in sheet. Okay, so we're going to ask the instructors, but we're also going to have our people working those area stop by, drop off the sign-in roster, and have people sign in there. And for what it's going to work for is help us if somebody wants that post certification. So that sign-in roster matches up with your post signature you get from your instructor. You come see us, and then we'll be able to work on getting you the certificate you need for that. It's an integrity issue. What we don't want is, you've been to different places where you sign off on some, then they're out of there. Hey, if you want the credit for it, stay there, get the credit. But now we're going to wait, a few minutes to go in there, because if it's not the class you were thinking, boom, go to something else. Yeah. Not a big deal. We're not changing anything. What we're doing is just be able to document. And if we get audited or whatever it might be, to say, yeah, that person was there, they're doing that. We think it's an important part. But same thing, we're going to see how that goes. And if we need to change it a little bit, we're going to get the feedback on it. And we do. We want the feedback from the instructors. We want the feedback from everybody taking the classes. That's only an improved future performance. What do we need to do?
One of the instructors asked me about it the other day, and kind of alluded to that same thing. It'll be in the second half. It'll be minimal disruption. By the end of the day on Monday, really by the end of the 10 o'clock block on Monday, people will be used to it. And they'll come in the back of the room. Clipboard gets passed from the back to the front. The clipboard will be up at the front at the end. If a student was out when the clipboard was going around and they didn't want to be disruptive, go up and sign in at that point. Really, it literally is going to be as minimally intrusive as possible, but we think it's an important step in the evolution of how we run the conference.
It's an important step for people to get training credit from those states that require those kinds of things, right? Yeah. And I think that that figuring it out on the front end, how to track this, not just from the student side or the instructor side, but more importantly from the administrative side. How do you run those checks and balances of what class is on your sheet versus the sign-in roster, right? And you have to be able to kind of marry those two things together for training credit for a lot of places, and this is a way to do it.
Yeah,
and that was just a great comment there of having a sign for the post, your post number and probably state, because again, we're going to be dealing with a lot of states. We're concentrating with Illinois, Missouri, because we're right there, but doesn't mean we're not going to be able to do stuff after conference to work with our states. So a lot of good stuff.
Other countries, other states. I would really like to see, Ray, and you and I agree on this already. Who's coming in from other countries? Obviously, we're not going to do the post accreditation stuff, most likely for that. But still, though, sign in, put your country, state, and then if you have a post ID number, which all sworn officers do, most likely. I mean, I don't know of anyone that doesn't. You've got some sort of an ID number. Put that on there. That just makes it a little bit easier for us to then validate. At the end. So yeah, absolutely.
But I'll go right now. If we have some of these other countries that need something like that, we'll do it for them. 100%. Yep. That's just again, we don't try. If we don't try, we don't know. So we're going to give it away.
Love it. Yeah, I can't agree. There's so many states that have different regulations and post, and there may be 2 Todd Fletchers in the world that you got to keep track of the Todd Fletcher.
Nobody wants that.
No.
I think what I like about getting some of these post certifications also is a lot of these instructors, if you decide, you want to come back to that state and do some teaching or wherever else, you're already certified there then. You don't have to worry about it down the road. So it really works out as you're expanding, your horizons as instructors also.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, just the instructor cadre. I threw that comment up there a second ago about Kenny Bigby and Chris Mandigma. So the class is going to be awesome. I've talked to both of them. I'm looking forward to seeing it. And but when we look at the selection this year for the competition to just get selected, man, I will tell you that roster, with the selection committee did some work this year and hard work, and there was a lot of really good proposals. I mean, at this point, we've got 7 countries represented in the instructor lineup. We have 100. If we went over 120, but we've got some single sessions that so it's 138 classes. And what is it? I'm drawing a blank. I think it's like 17 certifications. I mean, it is amazing, the quality of instructions. We could talk about that all day as well, but I think there's where are we? We did Monday night. We've talked about. Oh no, you know which one we haven't talked about? Tuesday night. We haven't really talked about the cornhole tournament. Have we talked about that yet?
No, not really. No.
Yeah, let's go ahead. What is Tuesday night? Let's anybody listening that hasn't and not familiar with it. What's happening on Tuesday night?
Same thing. It's Milo's back with their whiskey tasting. I know and then Command Presence. I think this will be the 3rd year for the cornhole tournament. They joined up and made this one great event. Light appetizers out there, and I like that they're usually pretty good. But the tournament is that. Come there, same thing. Meet the journal, writers. Then go watch some of the tournament. Sign up early with Command Presence to be able to get your team. I don't know, is Caliber Press, are they defending their title this year at the tournament?
I'm going to have to assume they are, because I mean they're coming. They're going to be there. I know Jim Glennon and Steve Johnson are both teaching. So I mean I can only imagine they've got some work to do. But I did see that at least, unfortunately, KD's not going to be able to join us this year. But Dwayne might have to wear his shirt there.
There you go.
Retired but not expired.
Retired, not expired. I think that was the.
So as we move forward on that, yeah, it's a great event, and just the camaraderie and everything that goes in. We can't thank Milo for as long as they've been doing what they've been doing, but then command presence, and there we go. We got John Jones.
Yes, I just had to throw that up there. And just a humble brag. Just get rid of
but
that.
no, you can't thank these guys enough. And these are a lot of these people that support us year after year. It's not just at the conference; it's year round. Just from some good advice, and you name it. John's one of those guys. But yeah, it's a great event. Like I said, it's not all about it's. They have their whiskey tasting. I know and that is also St. Patrick's Day, I believe. So that's going to be, I think, a little bit more as far as just being there, just the atmosphere. But same thing, we want everybody to be responsible, but have a good time. Bring your green, the shirts, you see the team names, you name it across the board, and yeah, it's just a fun time. And what am I missing with it? I'm trying to remember.
Well, the food. So Rob pointed out the food, and that's one thing that we, thanks to the support we get from Milo and Command Presence, that event that's an incredibly expensive event. And being an organization that really tries to live up to Ed Nowicki's mantra, if it's good for the members and we can afford to do it, that's what we're going to do. And we genuinely mean that. And we try to live that legacy every day. And thanks to them, we're able to afford something on that night that is just incredible. And the food is a big part of it. So thank you to you guys, both Command Presence and Milo, and all of our sponsors for great events for sure. But that one is our most expensive event for the week.
It's a big one.
Yeah, it is. And it is fun just across the board. So and the same thing, go there and talk with the instructors. The mac and cheese. See, I like Rob Rose. He's food motivated.
You're speaking my language, Rob. No, actually, it's funny. Jill just passed around to the team the menu for this year, like from Union Station, and we're going through the menu, and mac and cheese keeps rising to the top. Rob, don't worry about it. It's most likely you're going to see some mac and cheese.
Hey guys, we got less than 10 minutes left.
Wow.
We talked about instructors. We talked about our valuable sponsors and our vendors. We talked about training. We talked about range day. We talked about a lot. But we couldn't end this program without talking about the volunteers and who make the conference what the conference is. And I want to challenge each and every person attending the conference to go out of your way and thank those volunteers that volunteer their hard, their time and their valuable time to make ILEETA what it is. We've got some amazing volunteers that come back year after year after year, and they do some amazing things to keep this event a top-notch event that gets better and better every year. So thank you to all the volunteers out there.
Yeah, and Brian, I'm going to hit on that with you also, because it's not, and I don't think people realize that we got our St. Louis team, we got our conference team, we got this year's Castle. We were going to have a track out there for Pitt, just the three ranges, St. Louis Range West, St. Louis PD. You're absolutely all those there, but then everybody that makes everything possible, 100% agree with you. Did we talk about Thursday night, the Pat show? I thought Jill did.
So we briefly did, and that's why I was trying to. So we didn't talk about Tuesday. We haven't finished talking about Thursday yet either. So we got to do that, and we have an instructor development tip. It's a quick one tonight, and do you want to end with that, Brian? The instructor development tip, then we'll kind of close out with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But let's talk about Thursday night first before we go anywhere.
Yes,
Thursday night. Like I will tell you, and if you don't mind, I'm gonna kind of jump in here and explain a little bit. I know, Todd, it's sponsored by Combative Firearms. We want to thank you sincerely for the work you're putting into it. I don't know all the ins and outs of all the conversations, but overhearing a little bit and catching the details on it, you guys are putting together a first-class event. So the intent is to have a good coin and patch exchange, which has that meaningful symbology to it. And we understand, people don't always want to separate with their best coins. You don't have to do that. But let's say you've got a pretty badass coin, bring it, talk about it, show it, and be there. And I can tell you, there's at least one group coming from another country that is bringing some really cool coins. And so they don't have enough for everybody, but I can tell you, if you meet them and you kind of get on their good side, you might get one. ILEETA's got a great coin coming this year as well. But if you got that, either way though, patches are one of those things that are easy to exchange. They're fun to exchange. And if you've been in this business for a while, you've got a little bag of them or an entire wall for some people. It's a pretty cool experience. So thank you very much for doing that. But I think you also have some other tricks up your sleeve for that night. And I'm going to toss it over to you for that.
Patches are light to travel with too, so they don't take up much space and they're light, so they don't really affect your baggage weight. So yeah, something else we've got going on that night. We're going to have food there. So if nothing else, come for the food and the drinks. So we'll have food. We'll have the bar open. We're also going to be sponsoring a trivia night. So a few moons ago, Armor Express used to sponsor a trivia lunch. Well, we're not doing a trivia lunch, but we're going to do trivia as part of our hospitality event on Thursday night. So the tentative plan is teams of 4. It's going to be, we're going to include some tech, my favorite stuff. But we're going to use some tech to score and track scores and track teams and those kinds of things. We're going to play around with that, see how that works for us. And we've got some really kick butt prizes for the winners. So I'm not going to give those away because as soon as I say that A is going to donate whatever, then that'll fall through until it's in my hand that night. I'm not going to announce it, but we've got some pretty kick butt prizes that are kind of on the high end if you're going to go spend your own money. So we're going to have prizes for the winners, first place, second place, third place, and maybe some other door prizes to give away that night. So show up, earn some prizes through your trivia knowledge, or just out of sheer dumb luck. Come play with us and exchange some coins, exchange some patches, eat some food, have some beer, and have a good evening. Great conversations.
And I will say I think as far as the coin and patch, thanks for sponsoring this, because this is Ben has worked, and we had the table with patches. We used to have the patch show back in the day. But we always have people always doing the coins all over the place. So bringing this together where people are like, all right, and I'm excited for hey, first time attendees, these other countries, well, kind of what that is, and the exchange of it and the discussion and the history is just going to be awesome. Hey, Joel, I know
Ian, I know Ian's here. I see him making comments over here. Bring lots of Australia patches.
There we go. Hey, Joel, and then just one thing also, as I know we're running out of time here, but the guidebook, KNAI sponsoring that. Yeah. And if you not have the guidebook, get it.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up.
If you want to talk a little bit about it, I don't want to butcher it, but
I think you hit the nail on the head. At this point, the guidebook, Jill mentioned it in the opening video, but from our perspective, it is the go-to. It's called a guidebook for a reason. It's a great app, great platform. And I will tell you, we've met with Guidebook a lot, their development team. They've taken a lot of feedback from us. They've implemented some stuff. They've done upgrades on their own. It's not a brand new product, but you will see a facelift, a lot more interactivity, some evaluation stuff that we haven't been able to do in the past. Super cool. And so thank you, Caden AI, Ali and AJ, for everything you've done for us. And you've even contributed to classes this year. Super excited about that. Oh, and almost forgot. We have a webinar coming up on March 3rd at 11 o'clock CST for developing scenarios with AI, facilitated by Carrie Avery and the team from Caden AI. They're going to host it on our platform. Super cool. Very excited about it. More information coming. So I don't want to spend too much time on that tonight.
Yep. Okay.
There's too much to talk about.
I know. It's tonight. Cool. Let's do the instructor development video from Andrew Demuth, and then we'll close out with that. Brian, you feel good with that?
Fire away.
My name is Andrew Demuth, and my instructor tip is this. I've been training for my business and for my job since literally almost every day. And sometimes 2-hour blocks, sometimes 1-hour blocks, sometimes 8-hour blocks. Since day one, I have kept a Google document, and the title is After Action Report. And after every presentation, I list several bullet points of things I learned from that presentation. And it might be about bring yourself an extra adapter, or it might be fix block number 2. There's not enough engagement, but you've got to keep notes, and you've got to get better every time, and just constantly look for ways to improve your performance. And I'll add a second tip too. Hold yourself, your presentation, and your performance to the highest standard. The old days of posting online, hey, does anyone have a PowerPoint on handcuffing, and using that as your presentation? Those days are gone. We need trainers who are interested in becoming subject matter experts in these areas, who are obsessed with bringing their people to the highest level and holding their class to the highest level as well.
Great tips. Yeah. Andrew does some good leadership training. He's done some good leadership classes at the ILEETA conference, and I'm looking forward to connecting with him this year again.
Absolutely. Awesome.
So much.
It's been a very fast hour, Brian.
A fast hour. Let's go around the horn. One last thought. Todd.
Go Sunday night to the introduction to ILEETA conference. Go Monday night to Emerson Hour. Tuesday night at the Milo Command Presence. Wednesday night at Silencer Shop. Thursday night, Combative Firearms Training Hospitality Night. See you guys in a month.
Joe.
I would say the classes. Take Brian's advice, Brian Willis's advice over the years. Jason Durr gives the same stuff. Take those notes, go back, refresh on them, and in the morning do some effortful retrieval and be ready for that next day, and get outside of your comfort zone. Go to those classes that you're not comfortable in. Challenge yourself at least once during the week.
Ray?
Oh boy. I mean, I could talk for another hour here, but thank you to everybody. As I humbly, as I have the notes down, is everybody make sure you thank your family. Thank your department. Make it possible for you to be the trainer you are. We know it takes time, and we don't do it without support. And then when I talk about all you guys as our support of what we do at the conference, make sure you stop by, say hi to Jen if you worked with that membership and she helped you get through things. I'll tell you, she's got like 100 drinks coming from people. I'm telling you, every day it's like, hey, I'm going to buy you a drink. And then Jill and that marketing side are behind the people still. Mary Grace, Harvey, thank you, everybody there. One thing I will hit on is we talked about all of our different things going on, but also we will have, and you'll see that's why the guidebook's so important. Watch for the area where if you aren't that drinker or you need that support or something, there's going to be an area where you can have that quiet place and talk with somebody. So we're building that in new this year also. So just to make sure like everybody has a place that you need that, because that's what we're about. And thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Ray. Stay tuned to ILEETA. Follow ILEETA social media, ILEETA YouTube channel. Keep connected and look for updates on email from Joe, from Ray, from the ILEETA group. And let's have a great conference. You all have a wonderful night.
Be ready for the new swag.
Ooh. Oh, yeah. Shh. Don't give that away just yet. Some cool stuff coming.
Well, that's all we're saying. Just be ready for the new swag.
Have a good night.
Good night, everybody.